Alright guys, so today I'll be teaching how to do my roast beef with tabbouleh salad, but the tabbouleh is not grain or anything like that. It's actually cauliflower. So the funny thing is, like, when I was vegan, a lot of people were saying like, oh, we only eat meat because it's full of flavors. I use very little flavoring. I just usually like lime and salt. That's all I do. So first, you got like a really good piece of meat, grass-fed, always grass-fed. And then what I do, I just gonna cut the lime and squeeze the lime on top with a little bit of salt. I just usually sit there for about like an hour or so. Depends on how much you want to have as flavoring, but no big deal. So that's the phase one. Just let it sit in lime like this with a little bit of salt. That's pretty much it. Like, the lime actually helps cook a little bit of the meat, so in this way you can afford to do the roast beef raw as possible inside, which I like it. It's easier to digest than anything. I do not like to overcook meats, so just let it sit for a little bit, and now we're. Alright, so now I'm gonna do part of the salad, the tabbouleh part. So basically, you take one cauliflower, just cut in smaller pieces.
Quantos dedos você tem nessa mão, Benjamin?
So just cutting smaller pieces like this, I'm gonna put in the food processor just to kind of like pulse.
Benjamin tem 2 anos, é isso?
So this is how it's gonna look. Okay. You're gonna put in a bowl, just so.
O Luke usa até hoje um sapato que era teu, sabia? Sabe aquele que você mandou pro folho que era meio velho?
Now you put it in here. What I like to use, I like to save the bacon fat. You can use ghee, butter, whatever you prefer, but I save the bacon fat. So you take 2 tablespoons, and then you gotta melt. Okay. So while you're melting, you're gonna preheat the oven in 400. Get a tray with those non-sticky papers. Okay. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna get the bacon fat, put it in here, mix. Then you put the cauliflower on the tray, and you're gonna let it in the oven for about 10-15 minutes, depends, 15 to 20 minutes, depends on how crispy you want. I usually put 20 minutes. Then what you can do for the salad, what I like to do, I put the lettuce on the bottom. Once the cauliflower is ready, you put it on top mix it, and then I'm gonna teach you how to do the dressing.
Eu acho que assim, primeiro ano você não usa tanto, né? Mas aí o segundo ano você acaba usando, não vai tão rápido, né?
I love spring mix. So
Mesma coisa com
I put the lettuce on the bottom. Once the cauliflower is on top, when cauliflower is ready, you put it on top.
Então tá. Eu tô falando com a Andressa porque parece que o tubo que gasta que ele tá vazando, né? Eu não entendi, ela falou que tava vazando, aí eu perguntei qual era o tamanho, aí ela falou que era o tamanho neonatal, né? Básico, e o Luke usa o mesmo desde que ele fez a cirurgia, assim.
So the bacon fat is melted. So what you do, just put it on the cauliflower, okay? Then you just mix it up. It's more for flavor and more for make it crispy when you put it in the oven. So, like you can do it without it if you want to, but you mix it. The oven's warm already. Just put it in the tray. Like if you want to put more fat, you can. Or just like that amount, just to kind of give some taste, and also like if you want to add spices to it, salt here, salt, I would say garlic, whatever rocks your boat. So you put it like this, then you put it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, now let's go to the roast beef. The cauliflower is ready. As you can see, it's a lot more crispier. So we're just gonna need to put on top of the salad, and we are ready to rock and roll. Gonna get the cauliflower, let's put it on top of the salad. No big deal. Mix it up a little bit. So one thing that doesn't have in my original recipe, but which is delicious, if you chop some onions, and after you take the meat out, you put it there so it kind of tasted. Then you let it cook for a little bit, and you put it on top of the salad, and it's freaking delicious. How the onions look like? You see, like I didn't toast as much. I just used the taste of the meat and the juice and a little bit of the fat, just to look, to taste. Now, mix it up. Okay, so now for the beef, I get a little bit of bacon fat. I have a tendency to use just one kind of fat or two at the most with the salad dressing for my dishes, and I try to keep it less than 6 ingredients, just so it's easy to digest. But I put it on a low temperature, okay, So I let it get really hot. Okay, so put in a low temperature, but let the oil gets really hot. Then we're gonna put the beef for a while. Switch sides. Just make sure that it's cooked inside, and that's pretty much it for the beef. I'm gonna show you how I do it, but basically, you know, like I put on super low temperature and let the fat get really warm. Once it get warm, we're just gonna put the beef on it, kind of go side to side. Then you can toast a little, toast a little bit more. You can do rare, not or well done, whatever rocks your boat. But most important is to keep the temperature low, but at the same time let the fat melt. Meanwhile, the cauliflower is in there, getting toasted, and you know, this is life. I'm doing this while my wife is talking to friends with my son and the doggy. But as you can see, this is super easy. I can do it. But we're gonna go to the dressing. The oil, it's very hot. We're good to go. All you need to do is to put the meat in it. One thing I like to do is, if you have fat on the meat like this, try to put in the bottom, because then that taste goes into the meat and it's very good. Just gotta be careful a little bit. So now takes about, I would say, 10 minutes or 5 minutes in each side, pretty much. Depends on how you like it. But I let it cook quite a bit. So, before taking the meat out, to do that, I try to check the temperature. Just make sure it's cooked enough. My wife likes really raw. So I try to keep like 100 something. So it's not quite ready yet. See, this one is pretty much ready. So I like to get about the 100 and 115 thing. So one thing that doesn't have on my original recipe, but which is delicious, if you chop some onions, and after you take the meat out, you put it there so it kind of tasted. Then you let it cook for a little bit, and you put it on top of the salad, and it's freaking delicious. Alright, so for the dressing, all I did is, for now, I put 1 cup of olive oil and 3 garlics. Okay, it's really good to have high blend with a lot of power blender. However, well, doesn't need to be a Vitamix. I love my Blendtec by far. I love them, so that's what I use. But most of them will work too. So you got the olive oil. I'm gonna put a little bit of lime. Just keep in mind, I'm just making extra dressing because I save it for the rest of the week. But you don't need to put a cup. You can do half of this, or you can make extra and keep it. So I squeeze usually 2 limes. 2 limes almost get to like a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit more. Then I already put the garlic. I put the tahini. Unfortunately, I didn't find any organic, but there I try to always be organic. But so I put 2 spoons. So I put about 2.5 spoons of tahini. It all depends on how much you like tahini. I love tahini, so that's why I absolutely love tahini. But it's up to you. Now, what we need to do is blend, and I make sure that the garlic is gone. That's how I know the dressing is good. Like, you don't need to blend a whole lot, just a little bit. It's enough, but just make sure you get the garlic well mixed, because otherwise you're not gonna feel the taste of the garlic. See, this is how it's gonna look. Now let's go to the meat. This is the results. We got the beef, the salad, and the dressing. Really good food, delicious, easy to make. It took me a little longer because I'm making the video, but usually in less than half an hour I got it all ready. And let's go.